I believe that for a real-world asset project to be truly good and adopted, it needs to actually have a killer use case, a use case that leverages blockchain technology to solve real problems and to bring clear benefits for companies, for users, benefits that are big enough to make people move from their current solutions, their current Web2 solutions, to a new one, right? However, that is probably not enough. You also need to have a project that provides users with a really great user experience, one that is super easy as possible, and one that abstracts the complexity of blockchain and makes it feel as similar as possible to the solutions they already use. The reality is that it's not easy to find a real-world project that ticks both these characteristics, but I believe I've found one and I'm sharing it with you in this video. Real-world assets seems to be one of the narratives with the most potential out there, one that is approached a lot and people talk a lot about it and have big hopes. And this makes sense because, at the end of the day, it feels like very simple narratives. They are usually simple narratives that retail can understand, that existing and established companies can understand and eventually even use these products, especially as long as the benefits are clear for them and that it's relatively easy to use the technology, but also to integrate this technology with their existing tech stack. However, I think the benefits are not enough, right? So it's not enough to have something that is positive, something that can help. The technology actually needs to be extremely easy to use for people to adopt it. And for that, I think it might be really important to abstract or hide away in the background some of the complex blockchain functionalities we are using. And, as I said before in the intro, it's really important for the user experience to be as good as their current solutions or even better, as good as the Web2 solutions they are used to right now. And that's something where we usually lack a lot in the crypto space. More than that, it's also important for this new solution that improves on what is being done and hopefully solves problems that are currently not solved by existing technologies, also to integrate with the processes they are already using, the way of doing things people are using in the most seamless way possible to avoid friction, and also in a way that can be compliant with regulations. Well, the reality is that it's hard to find a project on the RWA category that ticks all these boxes, but I think I found one, as I told you. And in this video, I'll be sharing some of the strongest points of this project, why I believe it's a project that might be worth for you diving deeper into. And I'll actually do that. I'll do an in-depth fundamental analysis of the project so that you can better evaluate its potential and hopefully to incentivize you to continue with your own research. And the project I'm talking about, as you might be wondering, is Palmyra. And I'm sure you're asking yourself, what is this project all about? Well, Palmyra is a platform that is tokenizing real-world assets, but contrary to many other platforms out there, they are focusing on targeting specific industries, specific problems, specific markets, which I think could be a big advantage and is definitely a different way of doing things, a different approach. For example, they have started by focusing on the Sri Lankan market and more specifically in the tea industry, in a Ceylon tea industry that is a very specific industry and a specific way of making tea. And it's definitely an industry with a lot of problems in terms of trading, where intermediaries do take a large chunk for just connecting buyers and sellers, while leaving very little for these producers and also raising the costs for the consumers. However, the benefits of using the Palmyra platform go further beyond just trading and just lower costs. Through the platform, you can actually tokenize the assets, tokenize the tea, and actually guarantee its authenticity, guarantee its quality, a huge problem that we are solving, because there are a lot of fake teas out there, a lot of forgeries of this Ceylon tea in the industry, and especially due to the lack of transparency with the whole supply chain process. And the Palmyra platform solves that problem really well, guarantees more quality for buyers in terms of the tea, as well as higher demand and quality assurance for the tea producers, which is of course great for business. What is also pretty distinctive about Palmyra and their approach is that they are actually going on site to speak with these producers, to visit their plantations, visit their factories, understand their problems, their business, their operations, to solve real problems with this technology, and to look for easier ways to integrate the technology, the blockchain technology, into the operations of these businesses. This is what led to the team focusing a lot on abstracting away all the complexity in the background, including the complexity related with the usage of blockchain technology, in order to be able to better serve their potential clients. So a lot of benefits, more profit for producers, more quality of the product, quality assurance for users, for buyers. Buyers can actually purchase the tea at lower price, and you reduce an intermediary that is really taking a huge cut, and part of that cut will actually go to Palmyra itself, which is super interesting. But you might be wondering, is that all there is to Palmyra? What does the future hold? What has been achieved so far by this company? And I would say it's pretty interesting, their progress so far. But before diving deeper into that, I would really love if you could leave me a quick like. But coming back to Palmyra, they already have their product that is live and working, as you can see here, and especially targeting buyers and sellers of teas with, of course, only information that is relevant to these users, right? To the buyers and the sellers. Only what they need to know about platform, which is pretty interesting. There is no mention about blockchain, for example. And if you notice here, they also keep it very simple in terms of the technology. They try to reduce complexity and just focus on creating the best user experience and trying to solve their problems. And scrolling here through the website, you can see that they have already onboarded plenty of producers, as well as plenty of buyers. Their marketplace is live and products are actually being sold through it. They already have the supply chain tracking and the tokenization live of the assets to ensure that the best Ceylon tea enters their marketplace, and to guarantee this very high level and standard of quality. However, this is actually just the first step for the Palmyra marketplace. Palmyra wants to diversify the commodities they are offering in their platform from the Sri Lankan market. So this desire basically comes from the great relationships they were able to establish with local producers, and through their connections, and that opened doors in other industries in Sri Lanka. And basically they believe that with this same solution they can solve similar problems in other industries in Sri Lanka, similar problems to the ones that Palmyra is currently solving for the tea market. And they see a huge opportunity there, which is extremely positive, I would say, because there's real demand for this product, there is real demand for the future, and this market where they started seems to have really captured the usefulness this solution can bring to them, which is pretty positive. So at the end of the day, what they expect to do is to be able to expand within the Sri Lankan market to other commodities and add products such as Ceylon cinnamon, rubber, palm oil, precious metals, and many other spices. And besides the expansion of other commodities in Sri Lanka, there is also a focus of Palmyra to explore other tea markets, because they've had a lot of opportunities out there, from going to tea exhibitions, tea conferences that are much larger and with much more money involved than we would imagine. And of course, these other markets can also benefit from the solution for trading and to ensure the quality and authenticity of their own unique products. So the project, of course, will follow this dual expansion process. On one end, they'll look to expand for other industries within Sri Lanka, and on the other end, they'll look to expand for new markets within the tea industry. And so far, Palmyra seems to be doing things right. They are having a lot of opportunities, which is very positive. And even though they already have a product out there and working pretty well, of course, you need to remember yourself, this is just one of the first versions of the product, probably an MVP as a team would call it. The reality is that this is still a very early project, and as such, it does come with its own quote of risk and uncertainty. But in my opinion, from my time in crypto, one thing that helps increase confidence in the success of early stage projects is the team. So definitely we need to dive deeper into the Palmyra team and understand how good it actually is. And as you might know, or as you'll know right now, the company responsible for the development of Palmyra is Zengate. And as you can quickly see here, Zengate seems to have a pretty complete, skillful and experienced team with several different individuals collaborating to the success of this startup. It is also important to note the quality of the advisors they have. However, of course, we don't have time to go deep into advisors and the whole team, so we'll try to focus and to dive deeper into the three core founders. And here we have Dan Friedman as the CEO. He has an incredible experience in blockchain technology and Cardano. He was part of the initial IOG team responsible to build and to launch Cardano, which, as you see now, it was amazing. They've done an amazing job. Besides that, he has a lot of experience in other senior positions in technology companies, and as such, it's probably hard to find someone with more knowledge, more experience for this position to someone who has an incredible track record and a lot of experience with innovation. Then as Chief Operations, we have Sam Lambert. Sam, of course, is younger, does not have as much experience or track record as Dan, but so far he has shown significant growth and progression in his short career, which is pretty positive. And from the research done on the team, from following the work of the team, he seems to be taking on a lot of responsibility and doing a great job for Zengate. Then we have finally Nicholas Despopoulos, the Chief Business Officer for Zengate. And Nicholas has over 20 years of experience working across jurisdictional trade, asset management, and tax strategy. He has owned several coffee, tea, and wine businesses in retail and in distribution mainly. And if you look at it, this experience is fantastic for what Zengate is actually trying to build and for this platform of commodities. And if on top of this core team, you add the rest of the team with their own experiences and a great set of advisors with experience in commodities, building technology, and in the tea industry, it seems that Zengate and Palmyra are very well positioned to succeed. But of course, this is my own opinion, is not any kind of advice. You need to do your own research. But imagine you really like the project, you want to support it, you might want to have some kind of exposure to its success. Well, besides becoming a user of the platform, if you'd like to buy a lot of high quality tea, which is probably not your case, you can also get the Palm token. This is a token that has launched very recently, and in this video we are not going to dive deeper into it because there's a lot to say about the tokenomics of this token, the potential of this token, and whether even it will be able to benefit from the success of the platform. But in case you'd like us to dive deeper into it, please just drop me a comment below asking for it, and I would have all the pleasure in the world in creating this video for you. And meanwhile, while I wait to see whether you like another video about Palmyra, why not watch this video here about Indigo, one of the most successful dApps on Cardano, one that is also tokenizing assets, but in a completely different way. They are doing synthetic tokenization of assets. And if you want to find out more about Indigo, how this synthetic tokenization actually works, then this video here is perfect for you, and I hope to see you there.